The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Riviera decided to fill a gap between their 44-foot and 54-foot SUV models, and they did it with this, the 505 SUV.
We've tested many Rivieras over the years, and this 505 SUV shares the same elevated level of construction, build quality, performance, and offshore pedigree that we've not only noticed in the brand, but certainly have come to expect. I'm also impressed with how the social zones don't impede on one another. Let's take a look at what I mean.
To me, one of the most attractive features of this boat is the separation of the sporting area of the cockpit deck to the upper mezzanine area. We have opposing seating there that doesn't interfere with all of the functionality here. Let's take a look at what you can do here. First of all, there's so much area to this space. 4.5 feet fore and aft, 16 feet 2 inches side to side. So there's just a lot of functionality and a lot of possibilities. Let's see how this owner chose to populate the area. First, the port hand side, new style electric grill, sink. Underneath is storage and waste. A lot of possibilities also for the opposite side. In this case, freezer space and an ice maker. Clearly, storage is the least of our concerns on this boat, and we're just getting started. Wait till we get inside. The storage continues in deck with 3 large fish boxes, and all of these are macerated. And we're already seeing the fit and finish that is consistent with the Riviera brand. These hatches 2 inches thick, absolutely solid, finished on both sides, heavy-duty stainless steel hardware, and notice the gutters all leading over to scuppers. In the center of the transom is another storage compartment. Obviously, with the window in front, this can be made into a live well, and that brings up the subject of options throughout the boat. Riviera will pretty much entertain any ideas that you have on how you want to option things out as far as the cosmetics are concerned. Structural, that's another thing. They need to stay the way they are. Some immediate ideas for this area: dive tank storage, a tackle center, things like that. 2 steps up from the aft deck brings us to this raised mezzanine seating area. And I really like that it is raised so we can keep an eye on the action in the aft deck. There's opposing seating. The port hand seat has a table in front of it on a fixed pedestal. All of this is under the protection of the overhead, 6 feet 7 inches off the deck. Notice there's a grab rail going down the length of that overhead, which is the first indication that this is actually a blue water boat made to be away from the dock. The tea table has integrated beverage holders, and even when we expand the table, the beverage holders are still exposed. Now under the port side seat, there's refrigerated storage, and the control for both this refrigerator and the one in the aft cockpit are located right over to the starboard side. Both of the starboard side seats can be flipped out to convert into day beds individually or both of them. All of this area can be enclosed with the protection of drop-down curtains, and there's also an optional awning that extends 2 feet 8 inches past the hardtop. Want to extend this shaded area even further? 2 stanchions go in the 2 quarters. Bring that up and attach a Euro awning to it. Now the entire area is shaded. We can access the swim platform from 2 separate doors. Notice that they can be opened partially and latched into position, or latched in the fully open position. And this way here, notice that there's a notch in the door that accommodates the rub rail so that it sits flush before it's latched. The platform is hydraulically actuated. It has a lift capacity of 350 kilos. Staple rails can be used to surround the entire platform, and when they're not in use, they store right against the transom. Now, we've seen situations on other boats where putting a heavy tender on the platform will actually cause the stern to drop down a little bit, and then the platform becomes caught in the stream as the boat goes underway. Riviera, being a blue water boat manufacturer, has considered that as well, and now notice we can bring the platform up a little higher to keep it out of the stream. And lastly, notice underneath the multicolor underwater lights. The relaxation continues on the bow, where we have a sun pad on top of the trunk cabin. There are rails to both sides with integrated beverage holders. 2 seat backs can adjust into multiple positions, and usually I have a problem with these, how a manufacturer will select only 1 or maybe 2 positions at a factory hundreds of miles away. This one goes into 5 positions each. Notice also we have access to walk behind the lounge. Huge storage compartments are also in the bow. There's a one-step transition from the mezzanine area to the interior, and then it's a single level for the rest of the way forward. Over to the port-hand side is the galley. Corian countertops wrap around into a U shape. There's plenty of serving area. There's a cover over the single basin sink. Just ahead is a two-burner electric stove, more counter space, and then the trash receptacle is recessed into the counter. Plenty of storage above, and notice these all have sorters for your stemware. Down below there's a microwave convection oven, a refrigerator and freezer drawer, a dishwasher drawer. Over to the opposite side is additional refrigeration. Now couple this with the refrigeration that we have under the mezzanine seat and again in the cockpit, and we've got ourselves the making of an extended voyage. Two more storage compartments are in the end caps of the counters for the galley. In the corner there's a C-zone switch panel so we can control all of the ship's electrical systems from this location. And it's also convenient that the galley is located in between the two social zones on the main deck. We can further blend ourselves with the aft area by bringing up this window. And now we've got a seamless blend between the inside and the outside and a convenient serving area right to this mezzanine seating. To the starboard side is a 43-inch TV, serving area just underneath, and then ahead L-shaped seating wrapping around an ottoman with a reversible top so it turns into a table. To the port-hand side, L-shaped seating is on an elevated platform wrapping around a beautifully finished table on a fixed pedestal. An adjustable height pedestal is an option. This is also, of course, expandable so we can make it into a more formal dining area. To both sides of the table are grab handles, leather wrapped. Beneath the seating is storage. Just across and under the helm seating is bottle storage. And Riviera did such a good job on the finish inside this boat that it's got a gloss factor of 85.4, 85.5. We usually see an average of 80 on other boats. I have to say that I'm impressed with the fit and finish that's consistent with the Riviera brand. Upholstered overhead. Look at this grab rail. It's mounted to a gloss walnut finished recess. More of the gloss work continues at the cabinetry, and notice the straight lines all the way across. And notice all of the outlets on the boat also have USB connectivity. Notice the channel at the edge of the counter to contain any spills. I'd rather see a raised edge to keep all the materials on the counter. I do like, however, the rounded edges everywhere on the boat. There's plenty of natural light coming in through the large side windows and the huge windshield. The two forward windows slide open and they slide manually, not electrically. There's no gimmicks on this boat. It's a blue water boat and it's made to be worked and worked hard. Overhead, there's an opening sunroof. Now let's take a look at the accommodations, which consist of 3 staterooms and 2 heads. We'll begin with the full beam master stateroom. Now firstly, right across from the entrance, a huge walk-in closet with a hull side window. This size of a closet on a 50-foot yacht is practically unheard of. Continuing down 1 step, the master ensuite. This includes a hull side window with an opening port. There's a mirrored cabinet just above. Below, a vessel sink is mounted on top of the Corian countertop. The toilet is electric flush, and there's a separate shower stall. Well, this is a beautiful stateroom, certainly roomy enough. There's an island berth in the center. 6 feet 3 inches as I walk in and then step down ahead of the berth. The overhead clearance drops down to only 6 feet. There's storage to both sides and nightstands. Plenty of storage over on the port hand side. Ultra leather on top. Hull side windows to both sides with opening ports, and those port lights will send a signal to the bridge when they're opened up. To the starboard side, chaise lounge right in front of the hull side window. Just behind me, 43-inch flat screen TV with a Fusion stereo soundbar. And I have to be impressed again with the fit and finish with Riviera. Look at all this beautiful woodwork. High gloss walnut, perfect joinery, all straight lines. Now, as if we didn't have enough storage with the walk-in closet at the entrance, all of this, the nightstands, there's more up above each hull side window. And take a look at this, even more under the berth. Now, fully forward is the VIP, and this is laid out in the typical fashion of a bow stateroom with an island berth in the center, accessible from both sides with steps getting you up to the berth. There are hull-side windows to port and starboard, and storage is above. More interestingly, I like how Riviera put the hatches to the sides of the upper sun pad rather than what we usually see in the middle and just throw the sun pad on top. And if you want sun, well, remove the sun pad. It doesn't work that way here. This is a nice solution. There are storage lockers to both port and starboard, drawer storage underneath the berth and by lifting the berth. We also have private access to the ensuite. This one includes storage in a mirrored cabinet just above the hull side window. There's an opening port for ventilation, and again, that's connected to an alarm at the helm. A vessel sink is on top of the Corian counter, and more storage is underneath that. The toilet, again, electric flush, and we still have an enclosed shower with plenty of room for product. This one also includes a separate entrance, so it serves double duty as a day head. Directly across from the head is a stacked washer and dryer behind closed doors. And then our final stateroom is to the starboard side. This features over-under berths, each one 76 by 30 inches. The lower one gets a hull side window and an opening port. And there's a hanging locker just aft. There's a comfortable layout, separate social zones, the fit and finish that we've come to expect from the brand, all coming together in the 505 SUV. She's also outstanding underway and for extended voyages, but that's another video. Be sure to look for it. For now, this is my features inspection of the on-deck social zones and entertainment venues on the 505 SUV from Riviera. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.